And welcome back to another edition of Completely Unoriginal, your source for everything nerd right here at DakotaBroadcasting.com. I'm Adam St. Paul, joined by Kurt Campbell,
Yo.
along with Tony Zur. As always, gentlemen, how we doing today?
Doing pretty good, Adam.
Ready to get down and see what kind of mudslinging we need to do today, apparently.
Before we jump into everything, Tony, why don't you go ahead and tell the folks what you did on your YouTube channel, because it was kind of unique. It was a kind of a cool way to watch our podcast, we'll put it that way, the last time that you posted one.
Oh, I've been wanting to do it for a few times now, but what I did was I recorded myself talking to you guys, and I used your audio, so it looked like you could see me, talking to you guys, but you heard me over the phone.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I thought it was kind of cool, and you guys can see, how I react to some of your stuff while I'm chilling.
Lots of middle fingers, right? Huh?
Yeah, for sure. He's got voodoo dolls. He's
Oh,
just
no.
stabbing. He's stabbing my eyes out as he's, why aren't they leaving? So, no, we got a fun show for you lined up today. We got a couple of things to get to. We'll talk some more Batman v Superman, along with that Suicide Squad, and also the recent trailer drop for Star Wars, and we'll get to all that. But for those that are fans of the podcast, they know that Tony and I got into a pretty heated debate last week about Batman v Superman. I was not as big a fan of the film as Tony was, and we had it out. Tony, I'm going to drop this on you right now, so we'll stick on it as much as you want to, and Kurt can give his thoughts on the quotes too. But I got a couple quotes here from Zack Snyder that I found telling about why this movie is the way that it is. And one of the big complaints about the Batman v Superman film, and also Man of Steel for that matter, is that Superman rarely saves people, and when he actually does, it seems like a burden to him. It seems like, oh, I gotta save these people from this roof, or I got to save these people with this rocket ship, whatever it may be. And that is because, and this is from Zack Snyder, the director, everything he does has a consequence. This is the quote. If you're just taking a cat out of a tree, you can't touch anything, or the arborist will say he damaged the tree branch when he got the cat down, or the cat wasn't neutered, so now there's thousands of cats. There's no winning anymore for Superman. Doesn't that just seem like a super, super bleak look at one of America's greatest icons?
I don't think so. That goes along with what I was talking about last time about how, if you're trying to set this in a real life kind of universe, I mean, this guy's going to be pretty messed up. And so he's trying to help people, and he feels like that's what he needs to be doing, is helping people. But every single time he helps somebody, something bad happens, or somebody takes it the wrong way or something, and he's not trusted. For as much as he loves, the earth, and as much as he wants to help it, he knows that there's so many people out there that hate him for being good. So I can imagine the mental turmoil with him.
I disagree, because Superman has never been about consequence, and I guess if you want to change it up and say this one is, so be it, but that's just not a fun version of Superman whatsoever. Kurt?
It's just Snyder's comment is insanely cynical. It's cynical to the nth degree that just because you do something, there's going to be some big vocal group that's going to be against it, whatever the case may be. That's a very almost millennial point of view.
Well, it seems very selfish.
It's very, very, very cynical and selfish.
Snyder's, his opinion on Superman is, why save anyone because you can't make everyone? Why save anyone half the time because you can't save everyone all the time? Please, I guess would be the better way to put that. But doesn't that? I mean, it just seems cynical to me.
I don't know, man. I will agree with you that the movie is a mess.
Okay.
I will agree with you on that. And I will agree with you that that you have to be a connoisseur of the characters pretty much and the storyline to know exactly what you're seeing and what you're looking for and exactly what you just got done watching. I'll agree with you that it was a mess, but I like the fact that he's not Christopher Reeves kind of,
That wouldn't work in today's world. I agree with you on that. There's no doubt. Real quick, before we move on, I got one more quote, and this is, I complained about Batman being the Punisher with a cowl, with a cowl in the most recent movie. That's because he just murders people kind of indiscriminately, and this is what Zack Snyder had to say about that. I tried to do it by proxy, shoot the car they're in, the car blows up. Or the grenade would go off in the guy's hand. Or when he shoots the tank and the guy pretty much lights the tank himself. I perceive it as him not killing directly, but if the bad guys are associated with the thing that happens to blow up, he would say that's not really my problem. A little more like manslaughter rather than murder. So he's saying Batman didn't murder that guy because he only shot the car that he was in, not actually shooting the man.
He was pretty dark, man. I'll give you that, man. He was really dark, and that's why I still say that Michael Keaton's Batman is still the best Batman, because he followed along what Batman was more. But I liked Ben Affleck as Batman. But yeah, you're right. He totally killed like a shitload of people.
Yeah, they're fast. I'm pretty sure I've heard now too that they're fast tracking that Batman solo film just because of the praise that Affleck has got for his portrayal of Bruce Wayne. Kurt, any thoughts on that quote?
You know, there's nothing I can really add or detract from that. I mean, yeah, Batman. If you want to go on a technicality, sure, Batman did not kill those people directly, but he did cause.
But how
their
is
deaths.
it? How is
So-
it? Yeah, I mean, how is it not even directly? Batman's actions.
Well, see,
shooting that vehicle caused the death of these people. Like I don't see how that's not a connection.
I shoot out the tires on your car on an icy road. I didn't shoot you, but yeah, you crashed into a tree and died. So I mean, it's not real. I didn't kill you.
Tell you what, that won't hold up in a court of law.
No, it's a wrongful death suit on Batman would be
just getting
he'd lose.
Slammed
Yeah,
with wrongful
he'd
death
lose.
suits. Moving on, I think, unless anyone has left to touch on this, we're gonna kind of stick in the DC universe though, because I recently read a story. I believe it was out of Collider.
Hey, really quick.
Yeah,
really
go ahead,
quick.
please.
Just really quick, I wanted to say that new Batman movie, I heard that Ben Affleck was writing it, or that he wrote it, but did you guys also hear who he wanted to bring back into the universe?
The Joker.
No. He wants Halle Berry back as Catwoman.
What?
Hey, man.
This is news to me.
I've not heard this. That sounds like a bad April Fool's joke.
I don't know.
No,
maybe I read it on April 1st, but I mean, if he did actually bring her back and actually like let her have some some redemption, that'd be kind of cool. And she actually did a good job.
No,
No.
that wouldn't be cool at
No,
all.
it would not be cool. No, she put so much stank on that character, nobody wants to touch it anymore.
Barely.
I mean, the only time they've done anything good with Catwoman is in the Arkham games. She's fun to play in that, but other than that, no. Oh no, that oof. I can still smell the funk from that movie coming through the window.
If I may, I don't know if this is the article that you found, Tony, but I did just Google it, and I got one from Movie Pilot. Halle Berry to return as Catwoman for the standalone Batman movie, and it was published on April 1st.
Oh, there you go.
And also, then there is a tweet from Halle Berry. So she's always been kind of had some nice levity about that. She accepted her Razzie and things like that. Excited to squeeze into the Catwoman suit again. Now remind me how to shoot hoops in heels. That's what she tweeted about the whole story on April 1st. So, God, Tony, you just scared the living bejesus out of me. You really did.
Phew.
Sorry.
No problem.
I got pranked a lot on that day, I think, because I also just did a tube review just talking about Beetlejuice 2, and I was like, now they're talking about if Michael Keaton's not available, that Tim Burton wants to bring Johnny Depp in as Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Well, that's not. I would believe that 110%.
That's why you got away with it.
Yeah.
There was another one that scared a few friends of mine that someone claimed that Shia LaBeouf was going to play Pinhead in the reboot of Hellraiser.
Oh wow!
It was an
Could you
April
imagine?
Fool's.
I'd
Oh,
actually kind of like to see that.
No, I wouldn't. No.
Pay money to do that. I would pay really
He would
good
apologize to all the victims while he killed them.
He'd wear a brown bag over his head as he performed
The
his
pins
sexual
would be
torture.
stuck in a paper sack.
Exactly. As he performed his sexual torture. Yes.
Oh dear.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of fun. But anyway, back to the discussion at hand. That sticking with the DC cinematic universe, the film, the story that I read out of Collider, it goes that the Suicide Squad movie was originally a lot like Batman v Superman with its tone, with its darkness, with its violence, it's all sorts of different things. However, due to the resounding response, the popularity of the trailer, which they released with the Queen in the background, the Bohemian Rhapsody, and the jokes that they kind of cracked and everything like that, Warner Brothers went back and did some major reshoots on the film to make it more match that tone of the trailer rather than the film that they were intending. Now, I was looking for anything from David Ayer on it. I believe that's his name, the director, and he doesn't seem to be complaining anywhere in the press, and he doesn't seem to be, so he maybe was part of it or maybe whatever. But what do you guys think about a movie studio or a movie catering to? Because think about it. We wouldn't have got Ben Affleck as Batman, which a lot of people are saying is the best Batman performance had they listened to the internet when it was announced he was going to play him. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead, Tony. You're first.
Go, Kurt. Go ahead. I'm still trying to form a thought.
Well, I mean, here's my thought. If you fiddle with something that's done too much, you risk really ruining it. It's the old too many cooks cliche, but it's true. When you make a product, or a project, I should say, to be one way, and suddenly you go back and start tinkering with it, you end up with
Fantastic Four.
with Greedo shooting first, and with FBI agents with walkie-talkies instead of guns in E.T. You really risk ruining the balance of what you were trying to make in the first place. So I'm iffy on it. I don't know how much they've changed it. I don't know what they did. I have to wait and see. I can't be, no, it's going to be terrible. I hate it right now. I'm going to have to wait and see. But it makes me nervous.
Okay. What I have to say is if the movie turns out and people are on the fence about the movie when it's released, then they better give us like the original cut. You know, and I think that there will be like public outcry for that if the movie is a turd in any way, even if it's Batman v Superman, just like convoluted and the reviews are all over the place. You know, I really think that they'll give us, or there'll at least be like a huge outcry for Suicide Squad, the original cut.
Yeah, I mean, well, look what they did with X-Men. They released the Rogue cut where they put all the Rogue stuff back in that they cut out of Days of Future Past.
Yeah, see, I'm not going to subscribe to that because I've never thought that Anna Paquin was any good at anything.
I love her, so I'll disagree. I'll have to growl at you from a distance on that one.
Here's a quick question for you. Is she British?
No, she's Australian.
Okay, so she has an accent.
Yeah, a little bit.
She was in The Piano.
Okay. So that's probably the reason why, because just like Sir Ben Kingsley, his American accent is terrible. And
did you watch True Blood? Her Southern American accent is fantastic.
I will never watch anything of hers that is just her, and no.
It's not just her though. She's part of the X-Men universe in the X-Men story.
I force myself to sit through her because it's X-Men. If not, the only other movie that that was any good that she was ever in was The 25th Hour, and she was the worst part of that movie.
What about The Piano?
Well, no. Let me ask you a question. You have a problem with her. Have you heard Henry Cavill's American accent? It ain't good. And he's Superman.
What's wrong with his American accent?
It ain't good. It's sometimes it works.
It's no Ben Kingsley or Anna Paquin bad, that's for sure. She sounds like those foreign guys on Family Guy.
Watch True Blood, and you'll see her do a Southern American accent brilliantly.
That's like Twilight for adults, man. I'm good.
Yeah, it's for adults. That's the point.
I've never seen.
It's a vampire. It's a very.
I know it's a HBO
wicked vampire show. Heavy doses of.
If I want to watch anything with vampires, it has to star Kate Beckinsale.
And by the way, it's not Twilight for grown-ups because these vampires can't go out in the daylight, and they sure as hell don't sparkle. So.
Hey, he stopped sparkling by the last movie. If you didn't notice.
Unfortunately, the only way I could watch that was with the Riff Tracks commentary. That's the only way I watched the Twilight movies. Made them much better.
I've never seen any of them, but that's
with the commentaries, it's worth it.
That's just me. Now back to the whole Suicide Squad thing. It's really interesting because this movie has really been put through the ringer when it comes to nerd fanboy reaction on the internet. I mean, when it was announced, I think people said, for the most part, what is Suicide Squad? Then it comes up with, oh man, they cast Will Smith as Deadshot. I don't know how I feel about that. Margot Robbie. People like that one as, what's it called? As Harley Quinn. And then, of course, Jared Leto's Joker. Those images leaked and everyone freaked the heck out.
They kind of soiled their pants, yeah.
Now, but it's interesting, though, because you would think if you are willing to go back and recut large portions of the movie, and I don't know how extensive these reshoots were, mind you, but if you're willing to go back and recut several large portions of the movie because people, we like that, we want more of that. All right, here you go. Why wouldn't you have gone and just done a Joker? Oh, they hated the Joker idea that we had. Let's just go get the Heath Ledger clone again. Why wouldn't you go back on that? Because that got more outrage than anything.
Well, because they see dollar signs. You don't know if you're going to like the Joker or not, but right now they're like, that trailer is the best trailer that's come out the entire year already.
That's probably true, yeah. I see what you're getting at, Tony.
They just see dollar signs right now, man.
Mm-hmm. I get what you're getting at, yeah. Because
on CNN yesterday, they announced on CNN, Ryan Reynolds is now in discussion for a new Deadpool movie. I'm like, was that even a question?
There was no question with the money
that and also just the fact that they teased it in the post-credit scene.
Don't tell me. Don't. They
teased the next movie.
Zip. No.
So there was no real doubt that there was ever going to be a sequel. And, yeah, that movie just keeps on trucking, man. There's no doubt. Tony, another thing, too, and I know you're not defending Batman v Superman anymore, but this was something that I predicted, not that it took a genius to do so, but I said it would have a huge opening weekend, which it did, and it would have a monstrous decline. And sure enough, it had the largest decline of money from Friday to Saturday and then Saturday to Sunday in film history, with like a 60% drop and then an 80% drop the next day.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
For sure. All right, moving on then. We talked Suicide Squad. We talked Batman v Superman again. We'll probably talk it next week, too. No, I'm just kidding. But another big thing, and you guys might be a little bit more excited for this because I don't tend to get as excited for trailers like you guys do, but the Star Wars Rogue One trailer drops. It's relatively short. There's not a lot that you can really gain from it, but our thoughts. We'll start with Tony.
I thought. I mean, I've never thought what is this Rogue One? What are they doing? Just make the trilogy again. Make another trilogy, and just and then do what you got to do.
Well, you just talk dollar signs. That's what they're doing. Right here.
Well, exactly. But I was just, in the ways of, everybody's all excited about Rogue One, and I just never was. And then I saw the trailer, and I tell you what, man, I've been kind of waiting for a Star Wars movie to come out that didn't revolve around that frickin' family. And seriously, man, there's a whole other, there's more stuff out there than just the Skywalkers.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's kind of nice to see something new in that same world and something that's a prequel to the things that we love, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, do you know what the film is kind of based on?
I don't know what it's based on. I got the general gist. I mean, I'm guessing it's kind of like the many Bothans died to get us this information kind of stuff.
Well, it's not necessarily based on anything, but the film takes place just before the beginning of the original trilogy, and It is about the group which stole the plans that they hid inside R2-D2.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Kurt, your thoughts?
I've not seen it yet.
You haven't?
No, my wife and I didn't have time yesterday, and I'm not going to watch it without my missus, so that'll be on my... I'll tell you what I thought later, but from what I've heard, it's been generally positive reactions.
Well, it's hard to have a negative reaction necessarily. You see a couple of... Forrest Whitaker is in the movie.
Yeah.
You see the lead, I forget what her name is.
And there's Mads Mikkelsen.
And I don't think he was in the trailer.
But he's in the film. He's in the film.
Unless he's in like a stormtrooper outfit or something. No, seriously, I don't know. If he's in where he wasn't in the trailer that I saw. It just didn't do a lot for me, just because it was actually, I thought, super generic. Lofty dialogue and action scenes and whatnot. All I can say is that it was better than the Batman v Superman trailer. Keep going back to that. But.
You're just sticking that needle in.
Oh
deeper.
yeah, I'm twisting the knife.
I thought it was cool when they're sitting there reading off this laundry list of offenses this girl has, and she's like, I thought this was a rebellion.
That was, yeah. That was
rebel.
cool.
She's like, I rebel. And I was just like, hell yeah, fucking hey, dude. You know?
No, I hear you, because I agree with that 100%. When I saw that, I thought this was a rebellion. Well, yeah, you go get them, for sure. We're up against the break, guys. Anything else you guys want to make sure that we touch on this week? Tony, you got anything going on?
No, I'm kind of excited for the new X-Men movie coming out. Though they've thrown a couple trailers out for that, and I thought that was pretty good.
I'm looking forward to the X-Men. I don't know how you can't really
It'll
with
be
Bryan Singer in
interesting,
charge
yeah.
and the cast returning and everything.
Have either of you guys seen the Elvis and Nixon trailer?
I have not.
No, but I know a little bit about that, and it sounds really good.
And what is that?
That's your guys' homework, is to watch the Elvis and Nixon trailer.
What is it exactly?
You just have to watch the trailer, man. I put out a tube review of it yesterday, and it's just talking about the trailer and everything and how excited I am for the movie. But seriously, you will laugh your butt off. It looks amazing.
Well, when I think of Elvis and Nixon, I think of the classic picture of him at the White House shaking Nixon's hand, fighting the drug war, I think it was, and Elvis was knee deep into narcotics at that point. So
that's what it is. It's all about that day. And Kevin Spacey plays Nixon, and Michael Shannon plays Elvis.
Oh,
Michael Shannon is awesome.
Michael Shannon, huh?
Okay, and also check out the trailer if you haven't yet for the new Andy Samberg Lonely Island movie where he plays a musician. Have you seen the trailer for that yet?
I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
The trailer is so funny. I can't think of the name of the film. It's killing me.
Well,
but check it out.
Since we're all suggesting trailers, I got one for you, Tony. Have you heard of Seth Rogen's animated film Sausage Party?
Yeah. My wife and I watched that.
Have you seen that one yet?
Not yet.
Oh, my. Is that not the craziest thing you've ever seen there, Tony?
I cannot wait for that movie.
All I know is, think of a guy like Sacha Baron Cohen, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sacha Baron Cohen, he saw that trailer before they put any words to it. He basically just saw the images and everything, and he said at the time, I believe he said, quote, that was the craziest, most disturbing thing I've ever seen. So that's coming from Borat.
Yes.
So definitely high praise there. That's going to do it for this edition of Completely Unoriginal. Thank you guys so much, as always, for coming on. For Tony Zur and Kurt Campbell, I'm Adam St. Paul. Until the next time.